Even though I won't get nominated. Personal life with my wife.
Okay, so now I can go. Hi, welcome back to Recine Time. I'm back. I'm the hooker. And yeah, we'll bring him out. We're all waiting for him. Your host, Mike Recine.
Right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic.
Thank you. I think that's fun to do to your guests.
Yeah. I'm happy you're here.
No problem.
Welcome back to Recine Time, everybody. We're back with another episode with everybody's favorite co-host. She's here. She's back. Good to be here. Let's do some quick housekeeping. First off, a lot of you are saying that you like the show. I'm seeing the comments. You seem to be enjoying it. If you can, tell your friends about it. Okay? If you have friends, let them know. Text them right now and say there's a great new show called Recine Time that I want you to watch. We also got some road dates coming up. I will be in Fargo, North Dakota this week. And then after that, we have Tulsa. Then we got Austin after that. And then we have Portland, Maine. We got Boston, Massachusetts. And we got Tampa coming up next. And that's about it, you know. I can't complain, though. Things are pretty good. The weather's getting nicer.
That's a lot of travel.
Yeah, I like it.
Really?
Yeah, I like being at the airport.
Why? No one says that.
What's that?
No one says that.
I'm getting good at stealing.
Okay.
All the Hudson, all the things have like a self checkout. Mm-hmm. So I just grab like electronics and then I just buy some chips.
They have to stop with the self checkout.
Mm-hmm.
They're like thinking that locking stuff up is stopping us. It's not.
Yeah.
We're all about self checkout.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
And yeah, but otherwise, you know, that's it. Chugging along. But yeah, that's it. What's going on with you?
Can't you tell? Anything different about me?
No, you're nothing out of the ordinary.
Really? Look.
Your face?
Mm-hmm.
You're on Ozempic?
No, I don't even know how to get that stuff. No, I'm pregnant. Kind of the opposite of Ozempic. I'm pregnant.
You're pregnant.
Mm-hmm. And we're keeping it. So that's what I'm saying. Do you notice that I'm glowing?
Uh-huh.
And I don't think you can tell that I'm showing. I feel like things are still... pretty like flat.
Jesus Christ. And you know whose it is?
Yes, of course. It's Steven's.
You're sure?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would think that would be difficult because, you know, as you're like a sex worker, so there's probably a lot of, you know.
Guys are into that.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of, I just feel like you would want to be sure.
About what? To have the baby?
About whose load.
I know whose load. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I use protection with my clients.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't with Steven.
All right.
Now I'm pregnant. And this is good because he doesn't really have a job, so he can do this.
Yeah.
And I'm the breadwinner, so I'll keep working after I have the kid.
Yeah.
I'm young, so I assume my body will bounce back.
Yeah.
And it'll be cute. It'll look like me.
I'm just going to talk to Johnny.
I might need a raise. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to talk to Johnny really fast.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Well, this fucking sucks.
No, you guys can talk about like pregnancy and like child rearing and stuff together. It'll be great.
Yeah, but nobody wants to like
see a pregnant hooker.
Yeah, nobody wants to see a pregnant hooker.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like these are the only episodes that people watch.
I mean, some of them will still watch.
Yeah. Do you want to like? Should we tell her that she can't? Should we tell her that she can't keep the baby?
What do you mean?
Like, should we tell her that like if she wants to work here, she can't?
You can't do that.
What do you mean?
She'll sue you.
I think maybe it's good to take a firm hand.
To what?
Huh?
What?
To tell her it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work?
Yeah.
I mean, she'll be pregnant and then she won't be pregnant anymore.
Yeah,
We can have an arc where she gets fat like Daphne on Frasier.
Yeah, all right. But then it's like, so what? I'm supposed to like, she's pregnant, my wife's pregnant. I'm supposed to just, I come here to like,
more pregnancy. You're about to be finished dealing with one pregnancy.
but nobody wants to look at, yeah. All right, well, whatever. We'll figure it out. All right, sorry.
Everything okay?
Yeah. So Johnny and I, we were just talking. We just feel like that might not work for us. You being pregnant might not really work for us and work for the show.
Are you out of your mind?
What do you mean?
It's like a major lawsuit.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get fired because I'm pregnant? Guys are into it. You'll see. My boobs will get bigger.
Mm-hmm. All right.
There's no downside.
Yeah. Okay. And you're sure this is something that like that you want to do?
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm already feeling better.
Yeah.
I feel like I look better.
Okay. All right. Well,
Why?
Yeah, that's good. Well, let's just I guess let's just get into the show.
Okay.
All right. So, here we go. And congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats, by the way.
You guys can throw me like a shower.
Do you think Steven's ready to be a father? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yeah, do you think you were?
Yeah, I guess you're never really ready.
Yeah, you just have to like have it.
Well,
kind of has to like happen to you.
Mm-hmm. Does he have like a job or anything?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's just
honestly, it's like the same situation as you and your wife. Mm-hmm. She's the breadwinner. I'm the breadwinner. But he does like his hobbies.
Yeah.
But mostly he cares for the kid while I'm working.
But I guess the difference is like I'm ambitious and I have like the potential to do really, really well.
He does too. He's working
really
on his novel. This will be good. He'll be home with the baby working on the novel.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll be working.
All right. Yeah, I guess that's good. And then you're not worried about like sometimes when women are pregnant their attitude changes.
No, I'm not worried. Okay. Attitude about what? Like towards you?
Yeah, I just like people
have,
like you.
Attitude issue?
All I'm saying is people like you because you're really like fun and bubbly and positive. Mm-hmm. And then so like I don't know if they're gonna love some like nasty pregnant woman coming in, like nasty like personality wise.
Where are you getting this from?
Some mean
like
pregnant
your
lady
wife
coming in.
To you?
Yeah,
now you're worried.
Some mean pregnant lady coming in treating me like shit.
I feel like no one would. I don't think that would like phase the listeners.
All right.
I feel like maybe that's a you thing.
All right.
But like when your wife is due soon, so like she'll have the baby, and then I'll be pregnant here. So you won't have like pregnancy everywhere. Mm-hmm. It'll even out.
Yeah. All right.
You guys can throw like a shower for me.
Yeah.
You can give a bump in my pay because now I'm a baby.
Don't you like your life though? It's like you're a single gal.
I'm not single.
I mean, you're like a young girl. You're living in the greatest city in the world, and you're gonna have to, you want to go home and take care of a baby.
A little bit.
All right.
I don't think it's gonna be that much either because Steven's there the whole time.
Sure.
And you know how sensitive he is. He's really good with kids. That'll be good.
All right. Well,
it'll be like mostly his thing, kind of.
Right. All right. Well, we certainly wish you the best. And also, guys, let us know in the comments if you think she should, if you think she's ready to be a mother. A lot of you are loyal listeners, and so we'll make a little poll. How about we do this, Johnny? Can we do that? Can we make a little poll?
Sure.
Is she ready to be a mother?
Should she keep the baby?
I don't want to influence anybody to keep the baby. I'm not telling anybody not.
You just said you might fire me if I have the baby.
I'm a little hungry this morning. Yeah, okay. We'll cut that out of the show. But let us know in the comments, is our beautiful co-host ready to be a mother? And I think the fans do have a lot of insight on stuff like that.
Your fans
they
have a
see
lot
us-
of insight on if
Yeah,
I
because they see it from like a different perspective,
a perspective of what they want to have sex with me.
like an outsider perspective.
Okay.
And so they can assess
If I'm ready to have a baby.
if you're ready to,
Okay.
if you're ready to be a mom. You know? All right.
Did you put up a poll when Deb got pregnant? Should Deb keep the baby?
No, but that was before we started the show after.
She's pregnant now. Did you do that when she got pregnant a second time? I think let's get a second poll going.
Like what? Oh,
Should Mike
is
keep
Mike
the
ready?
baby?
Should Mike have a baby?
Is Mike ready for 2 kids?
I guess it's not too late if I wanted to like
Yeah, you can do anything
drop
you
it
want.
off at a firehouse.
You see those baby boxes?
No.
It's like those. It's like what dropping it off at a firehouse is.
Yeah.
Like you put it in the box. You've never seen those videos
No.
where like you drop the baby off in the box and they do a tutorial at the firehouse of how many seconds until they take the baby.
Oh, really?
Like your baby's only alone for 10 seconds and then they've got it.
Interesting.
And actually, I've always wanted to open an orphanage.
Yeah.
I love kids.
Okay.
I'm a helper.
Okay.
You see what I do for work. I'm a
Yeah.
caregiver.
Okay. Wait, so that's funny. So you can go to a firehouse at any time and it's only there for like 10 seconds?
I'm just saying, I saw this one video. They're called baby boxes.
Yeah.
And like, oops.
It's like outside the firehouse?
Yeah.
It's like put baby here?
Yeah, it's just like a little box, literally like a donation box. And it's like you put the baby in. It's not cardboard though. It's like,
Sounds like a Clinton
Plastic or
Foundation
something?
initiative.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
and then you drop the baby off and they're trained to take the baby and then care for it and then get it, unfortunately, into foster care system, which isn't good.
Foster care system,
This
which isn't
leads
good.
to my orphanage
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just get into the show. We got a lot to talk about today. Autism cases on the rise. This is from NBC News. 1 in 31 children in the United States are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder by their 8th birthday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported Tuesday. The finding, based on an analysis of medical records from 2022, reflects a dramatic rise in autism over the past 2 decades. Previous CDC reports showed that that 1 in 54 8-year-olds had been diagnosed with autism in 2016. In 2000, it was 1 in 150. And I think when my brother was diagnosed with autism, which was in like the early 90s, I think it was something like 1 in 10,000 kids were diagnosed with autism. So something is happening. I don't know if it's the vaccines or the fluoride in the water or whatever.
That's
But
crazy. It's
there-
neither of those things.
Yeah, but something is fucking up all the kids. So
That's terrible to say. Do you watch Love on the
somebody-
Spectrum?
no.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Okay.
It's so sweet. Those
Okay.
kids all have autism.
Okay.
And they're finding love.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's the best show.
Are you one of those women who's like, who are like, I hope my kid has Down syndrome?
Yeah.
Really?
Only because like give it to me and my like big heart. You know what I mean? Like give me like a baby, like a black baby with Down syndrome. You know what I mean?
Why are we racial?
I'm sorry, that was weird to say. But like, you know what I mean? Like give me the baby. Like I have the heart. Like I will care for him.
Yeah,
Like instead of somebody closed-minded.
Yeah. But then he gets
That makes
old.
sense.
He gets old like,
And then I'll
like
put
my
him on the
brother.
show.
He gets old like my brother. He's like 34 years old and just, having meltdowns all the time. You're scared for your life.
Does your brother want to find love?
What's that?
Does your brother want to find love?
I don't know. We don't
Never-
he's not verbal. He can't verbalize that.
You should watch the show. He should go on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
He
It's
doesn't
really, really
talk.
sweet.
I do like to think that.
But what does he like? What did you say? He likes to be tickled?
No, I don't think anybody likes to be tickled.
What did you say that he likes or something?
Sesame Street?
No, it
His
was
arms
like
touched or
He
something.
likes his arms rubbed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you knew it wasn't Sesame Street.
I do think it's kind of funny though, because like my parents hit me when I was growing up. So, but it is kind of nice karma that they have to spend their old years with like this like monster in the house.
That's really terrible.
I do think it's fun. I do think it's really funny that like my
Are you
dad.
mad your parents hit you, or you're like, yeah, it was a different time?
It's a different time.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. I think you got to go easy on your parents a little bit, but I do think it's funny that now they're stuck at home with this monster who could kill them. They're just living in fear all the time. Kind of like how I did when I was younger.
You were afraid of him?
No, I guess. I mean, yeah, I
Okay.
guess.
You should really watch Love on the Spectrum. There's nothing scary about autism. Autism is a spectrum, right? So I feel like before they just only diagnosed people who were like nonverbal or were like really struggling in school in some capacity or struggling socially. But now it's like any part of the spectrum is being diagnosed. You know what I mean? I don't think everybody who they're diagnosing has it.
Well, let's keep reading here. It's Warren, also the executive director of the Vanderbilt Kennedy Center's Treatment and Research Institute for Autism Spectrum Disorders in Nashville, Tennessee, largely attributed the increase to improvements in detecting the developmental disorder. Okay, that's interesting. Doctors are better than ever at identifying autism with awareness at an all-time high. Without a doubt, we've become exponentially efficient in this surveillance work, Warren said. In a statement Tuesday, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said,
I hate him.
the autism spectrum is now reached a scale unprecedented in human history. But the phrase autism epidemic doesn't sit well with Dr. Alex Kolvzon, who's been working with people with autism for more than 2 decades. Okay. So I guess there's an idea that like the idea that Kennedy's framing this as like an autism epidemic, but it sounds like they just get better at identifying.
Yeah. I don't really like Kennedy. I like his relative who passed away. He was very handsome.
Who?
The guy who got JFK.
The guy who got JFK?
No. The guy, I was gonna say the guy who got shot, but I just
The guy who shot JFK?
No.
You like the guy who shot JFK?
No, I said the guy who I was gonna say the guy who got shot, but then I remembered his name, so I was like, oh, JFK. I like him.
You like him?
Yeah, he's so handsome. I don't like RFK. I don't like the sound of his voice. I don't like what he's up to work wise. I don't think also like we have so many needs in America. Like he's trying to end autism. Don't you feel like this is like you're not going to end it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like this is a waste of his time?
I just want to know what autism is, because
You think if you went in, they would say that you have it?
I don't know. I mean, I was researching it, a little bit today, and they were like, it's if you have trouble communicating with people, which I don't know. I think I communicate with people okay.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty good at communicating. I think I can.
I feel like we've hit
what?
some walls.
Who, me and you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Maybe we should like hang out more after the show or something, outside the show.
Well, I'm about to have a baby. I'm really busy.
Yeah. I know, but we should like barbecue sometime.
What? Where?
I don't know, the park?
I don't really like when people do that.
No? We should do like a little
You should get a backyard.
we should do like a little work lunch or something.
Yeah, we can do that here. You and Johnny can take me to lunch here.
Okay, that works.
That's fine.
Yeah. And then if
And I'll pick
Johnny's
the place.
Okay.
And I'm not paying.
Sure. Okay. But yeah, I don't understand. And now everybody's like, I'm autistic. But why is autistic? Why is it like my brother and, people who like have jobs?
What?
You know what I'm saying? Why is that? Why is it the same disorder?
Like your brother who's nonverbal.
Who's nonverbal.
And like,
When people call me autistic, I go, he's autistic.
yeah. Maybe we
That can't be the same thing.
No, it's not, but that's what I'm saying. They say it's the spectrum. Like it's a spectrum. You're on the low end, he's on the high end.
Yeah, but how are we, like, I have like a wife who I fuck and I have a business. I run a small business.
Your brother could have a wife.
You know what I mean? What's that?
Your brother could have a wife.
I don't think so.
Put him on the show.
He
That's
can't-
what happens on the show.
No, but he can't live on his own.
He doesn't have to.
I'm just saying, why is it the same disorder? I just did my taxes.
You think yours should
I
have
just
a
filed
different
my
name?
taxes. What's that?
You think yours should have a different name?
Yeah, it's like how are me and him on the same spectrum?
I feel like you're not understanding.
That's like being like, hey, you and that
This is
pigeon,
a
you're both
spectrum.
birds.
It's a spectrum.
Right, but I shouldn't be anywhere on that spectrum.
This feels like an insecurity.
How it is because I'm like, I don't know. Then it is my brother does have a disorder.
Okay. You guys
That's a
both
disorder.
do if you're on the spectrum.
But I don't have a disorder. I function in society fine.
Not perfectly though.
What do you mean? What do I need to
I feel like
give me some notes?
I feel like I've seen you get upset, and when you get upset, it's kind of like everyone watch out. Like Mike is
Interesting.
going through something, and that's probably how people feel around your brother when he gets upset. Or we have to be accommodating to him. That's kind of autistic.
Sure.
You're in comedy. Doesn't everyone in comedy think they're autistic?
Yeah, that's the
guys
problem.
do.
Everybody thinks they're autistic.
I mean, I don't know.
Anyway, Colv's on a child,
Think
and
your baby's going to be autistic?
I hope not.
I hope so.
If I have to go, come on.
Not for you, for my baby. My baby. Remember what I said?
You want your baby to be disabled?
Remember what I said?
What?
That I have an open heart and I'll love my baby however it comes. That's why I said that comment about my black disabled baby, because I was just saying I have an open heart.
But going through that, I don't think I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Have you seen the movie The Family Stone?
Yeah. What, the deaf kid? Mm-hmm. I know, but
You sound like Sarah Jessica Parker and I'm Diane Keaton.
No,
and
I
I'm
think that
I love you no matter what. I don't remember the sign language.
No, but I think that I know being deaf and gay is a disability, but it's less
But it's not. It's an ability, an opportunity.
I don't like when people go having someone in your family with a disability is like a blessing, because it's not. It's a curse. It's terrible. It's really bad. It sucks. It sucks.
Okay. Yeah. It's not ideal. But
not ideal.
But it's not end of the world. Have you seen that man
What man?
who has no arms and legs and does his makeup every morning?
No. Is he gay?
I think so.
Really?
Can I find you him, or there's no time?
What does he swipe through Grindr with his tongue? It's kind of fun.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
You're going to be inspired.
I would like to do that.
You're going to hope this is your baby.
I would like to lick the you're on Tinder, you're just licking the computer screen. That's interesting. I don't know. I just there should be, I guess if we're going to talk about kids with disabilities, there should be an honest conversation about it, and people should be able to be this sucks. And we will get into that actually a little later. I just want to finish this article because it says Colv's on, a child and adolescent psychiatrist and clinical director of the Seaver Autism Center at Mount Sinai in New York City, agreed that the increase is likely to stem from increased awareness and diagnostic criteria autism spectrum disorder. He was not associated with the new report. Parents shouldn't panic, he said. We are not seeing an epidemic with autism. So this doctor saying there's not an autism epidemic like Kennedy is framing it as. The report comes from CDC's Autism and Developmental Disabilities Monitoring Network, a biennial surveillance program that takes a snapshot of prevalence and characteristics of how doctors identify autism spectrum disorder among kids ages 4 and 8. Answers are both inconclusive and wildly complicated. This says we have pretty... I can't wait to look at that.
Okay.
We have pretty compelling data that there are causes of autism, not a single cause, Warren said. We may have hundreds, if not thousands, of different neurogenetic factors that influence presentations of autism. Despite proven research to the contrary, Kennedy has repeatedly suggested that vaccines, specifically the shots that protected against measles, mumps, and rubella, are linked to autism. That link has been widely debunked, but it continues to contribute to a decline in vaccine uptake across the U.S., even amid a growing measles outbreak that sickened hundreds and killed 2 young children in Texas. Very tragic. People are not vaccinating their kids, and they're dying of measles. You got something fun on your phone pulled up, though.
Yeah, I found the person that has no arms and legs and does their makeup.
Okay.
This could be your kid. Look.
Yeah.
Husband.
Her husband's going.
That's her husband.
Her husband's going to Africa.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why. And look. She does everything. Look.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come with me to start my laser hair removal journey over at Randy Murray's family.
I got to follow this person.
I know you have to. Isn't this amazing?
Do you think they when she went to get her trans operation, they accidentally took too much off? They cut off her arms and legs.
Why do you think she's trans?
You're calling her she.
That's what her pronouns are in her bio.
Okay. No, but I'm saying, do you ever get a haircut? You ever go to get a haircut and they like take too much off? I wonder if she put on the form like, please cut my penis off.
Yeah.
And then they saw arms and legs by accident.
It just had appendages.
Yeah.
I'm inspired.
Yeah. I mean, but see, to me, that's not like a, if you had to pick, if you said to me, would you rather have a transgender child with no arms or no legs, or would you rather have a do-over with your brother? I would pick that every time, because you could fit that person in like a suitcase.
You'd rather have a child with no arms and legs who's trans.
Yeah.
And a person of color.
Because you know what's fun? You could take her to the airport and you can just kind of stuff her in the suitcase with her head poking out.
I don't think you could do that.
You know,
it's pretty like inhumane.
Yeah, but how do you got to transport her in
I'm
something?
just saying, I'll take any baby I get if it's that. If it's your brother.
Yeah.
If it's not fine. If it doesn't have something.
Yeah. All right. So that's interesting. So they're saying that they know for sure that vaccines do not cause autism. It's been thoroughly debunked all
That was
around,
like embarrassing for us.
all around the world. That was kind of embarrassing. But I'll tell you what.
humiliating.
I'll tell you another thing about
You up to date on your shots?
I think so. Yeah. Should I start taking PrEP
Why?
just to be cool?
Cool in what community?
Like if I see like Mateo Lane, I'll be like, hey,
I'm on PrEP.
I'm taking PrEP too.
Is Mateo Lane gay?
Yeah.
He'd be like, don't hog the PrEP. You don't need the PrEP.
Oh, really?
I feel like I think so.
I don't know.
That'd be like if during the monkeypox thing you were like first in line to get your shot. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you don't need it. What a weird waste.
We got to protect Deb.
That's really funny. My wife comes in to like bring me lunch with my son. I'm in line. That's really funny. I'm in line for a monkeypox vaccine. She's like, "Hi, honey." How are you? All these gay guys are like, "Hey, it's not for you."
There's also this pill for gay men that's like you're supposed to take it after. It's like gay sex plan B. Like you're supposed to get right after you hook up with someone to not get
to not get HIV.
Yeah.
Really?
Not get anything. But I know someone who's taking PrEP and taking that, and I'm worried they're canceling each other out.
Right.
But I don't know.
See, it's much better to
I made that
take.
up in my head.
I think it's much better to take the pill after sex, obviously, than before sex. You know
Which one?
what?
What are you talking about?
Any pill, whether it's PrEP, whether it's Blue Chew, you know, it's like so unromantic.
Chew?
to
You
be-
can't take that.
Any preventative medication should be taken
Blue Chew?
After, yeah.
Don't you need that
I'm
to
just
get
saying,
hard?
You need it to get hard.
So you're
but I'm
gonna take it
saying like,
after?
it would be. I feel like it's not romantic to be like, oh, I'm having such a nice dinner with my wife. Oh, let me pop the Blue Chew.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could take a pill. Like,
Turns your mouth blue too, so she'll know.
does it really?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Like a baby bottle pop.
Oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I need to work on that.
Yeah.
What was wrong with Viagra? Why do we
It's
even
a
have-
prescription, and Blue Chew you can get off podcasts.
Oh,
Yeah. Someday
you should pair up with Viagra.
I would like to. Yeah.
Do you have any ads?
We've reached out a lot. No. I like to give my listeners an ad-free experience.
But if you got an ad, you would do it.
The only revenue that we get is from Patreon. So patreon.com/Recine time. You can get bonus content. And as long as
We can do
long as
Patreon
that's
content
active,
of the baby stuff.
you'll never.
For me.
Oh, you want to?
Like I follow these influencers who do they did
Yeah.
a gender reveal and a name reveal all on Patreon.
Okay.
So as long as I can get some of the money, yeah, sure.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Cool.
I hope it's a girl.
Yeah.
A girl with Down syndrome.
I'll name it a girl with Down syndrome, and I'll name it after me.
Yeah. Well, she's going to need that gay guy medication because they are hypersexual. I don't know if you know that.
Who?
Down syndrome people.
Oh.
Yeah. They're always
That's what you really should watch.
doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing.
There's Love on the Spectrum, and then there's Down for Love, and Down for Love is about people with Down syndrome.
Okay.
I feel kind of bad. I can't watch that one.
Why? Really?
I don't know. For some reason, it just feels like
Like a circus?
it's just no. It just feels very private because they are they're down for love, you know. Like on Love on the Spectrum, there's still a little bit of mystery about what's going to happen. Like I don't want to know if anyone's having sex. I want them to.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I was thinking what would happen to Deb if she lost her arms and her legs. It might be kind of fun.
Would you carry her around?
Of course.
Do you think she'd be really like, do you think it would make your relationship better or worse?
I think it'd make it better.
Really?
Yeah,
I'd be so pissed waiting for someone to carry me somewhere.
She'd have to say thank you to me a lot more.
Why? No, she wouldn't. She doesn't have arms and legs. She doesn't have to say anything. She's got the shit end of the stick. If I lost my arms and legs and Steven had to carry me around, I have no arms and legs. I'm never saying thank you again. Yeah.
You have a very interesting outlook on relationships. You seem to be a little like
open-minded.
No, there's a lot of men like leave relationships because their emotions are ignored. Their emotions are ignored and they just quietly walk out one day.
Steven's emotions.
Did you ever see the video? Yeah, I'm sure. We don't have to get into that. But you ever see the video with the guy with the spool of wire? And he's like, it went viral. There's a guy talking about how he's telling his wife that he had the spool of wire for like 40 years. Now it's almost over. And he was like getting really emotional about it. And his wife is like, okay, honey. And everybody was like, this bitch is mean to her husband.
What was he saying?
Validate his emotions. He had this like spool of wire and he was like, I've had this spool of wire for 40 years and now it's almost over. And he was getting emotional about it because he was thinking about his own mortality.
If Steven showed me some yarn, I would be emotional with him about the yarn.
Yeah.
But if I have a baby with no arms and legs and I'm like trying to care for it and then like get to work and Steven's like crying about yarn, I'd be like, can you get a grip?
Right. He's got a lot of yarn.
It would depend in what was happening.
What was happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I guess I need more context about what was happening when this guy was getting emotional over the wire before I take his or his wife's side.
Okay.
It's just easier to side with the women.
Right.
We really get it.
Sure. All right, moving on. My mother was a prostitute. This is from Vice. Growing up with a sex worker mom. Something to think about, Just something to think about for anybody who is involved in the sex trades. If you're
he has a problem with it?
Well, let's get into it. Jacob was around 5 years old when he stumbled across explicit photos of his mother in a porn magazine. There were some copies under her bed, he explains. I kept asking her what it was, and she eventually explained that she took those photographs for money. As Jacob recalls, this information didn't bother him at the time, but living in a small town meant that the world knew about his mother's meant that word about his mother's profession spread, and he remembers being teased as he was growing up, particularly when he got into high school. I could hear kids, I think this kid's British, so he goes, I could hear kids saying, Jacob's mom is a porn star.
Why do you think he's British?
Something about the article made me think he was British.
Okay, sorry.
Mom.
Go ahead.
Jacob's, mom, right.
Oh, okay.
Jacob's mom takes off her knickers for money.
Is that what it says?
When I first began...
This is quite uncomfortable.
When I first began puberty, speaking to girls, I was rejected by one who called my mother a slut. So that's something you got to think about.
No, that everyone in this article needs to get a grip.
Really?
Yeah, this is what she does for money. Food's on the table. He's in school. He's got clothes on his back. Like, he's fine. It looks like this girl needs to learn a thing or two about slut shaming. Because I'm going to guess that she's going to grow up and maybe get into OnlyFans for a little extra cash. And she's going to hope nobody tucks her about it. So Jacob needs to get a grip. This girl needs to get a grip. And the mom seems amazing.
But what if your daughter doesn't?
Also, they all need to move to New York.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal here.
It's expensive here, though.
They can make it work. You make it work.
What if your daughter wants to date a boy, and he's like, oh no, your mom's a prostitute, and then it's like, then it's like what?
Okay, don't date that boy.
Sure. Okay.
No downside.
All right.
Next.
It says also overlooked are the ways in which the flexibility that sex work allows for, often entailing fewer working hours for better pay. That can facilitate a better parent-child relationship. Many sex working parents I've known have been involved in that work as a way to parent their children better. says Afton. Being a sex worker has meant that they are able to provide more options and experience a greater sense of independence and therefore have more attention viable to their children. This was the experience of Nina Hernandez, a 35-year-old from New York, whose mother worked as an escort when Hernandez was a child. I had nice clothes, toys, and we finally moved to a better neighborhood, she says. The most beneficial part of her working short hours with such good pay is that I saw her more often and she seemed happy and bubbly because we had no financial worries. That's kind of interesting.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's going to be the article My Girl Writes.
Right. But then what do you do? I mean, because that could happen if your kid's getting bullied.
What?
Because if your kid's getting bullied because their mom is a...
Okay, well, don't you feel like
or
that... Enough.
Prostitute.
Enough.
Prostitute?
For sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just whore, like, okay.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
I just feel like kids don't just like
what do you do? Do you call
on these things? Like, I feel like the parents find out and the parents are gossipy and then the parents are gossiping and the kids hear and now the kids are following their parents' leads and they're being gossipy. So like, it's not the kids' fault that they're being closed-minded.
Okay.
It's the parents' fault.
Yeah.
So they need to teach their kids about, hey,
Yeah.
Johnny's mom is a hooker.
Right.
But Johnny's got the biggest house on the block.
Right.
So get a grip.
Right. And he's got a pool.
Of course he has a pool.
And you guys all swim in the pool.
Sometimes.
You guys all come over and,
Yeah.
So.
And like there wouldn't be a pool for you to swim in
Yeah.
if Johnny's mom wasn't like having sex for money.
Would you send Steven to the school and have him like do an assembly?
Yeah. He would be amazing at that.
Yeah.
He's really open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this, you ever hear the song Harper Valley PTA?
Is that, what would you do if your kid was at home?
No, I listened to that list. Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that song is like anti-sex work.
Yeah, no, it's not.
like,
no, it's not. It's what...
Girl, you gotta... No, because the guy in the song is like, girl, I know if my mother can do it, baby, you can do it.
I only know the
But it's
girl
like,
verse, which is, what would you do if your son was at home crying all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry?
I'm saying, but the guy in the song...
And the mom is like, I'll do anything for my kid. I have to sleep with a man for a little bit of money.
But the guy in the song is like, girl, don't stop doing this.
That's why...
Stop this foolishness.
I know. It's us right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be happy as a mother, a new mother.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And a sex worker.
Yeah. I just want to make sure everything kind of works out.
It will.
For you.
Oh, it will.
Okay.
It always does. I have a mantra in life.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
It is funny though. I guess people do get a little judgmental, right? About sex work. They go, the guy's like, life? I know if my mother can do it, maybe you can. That's the last line of the song.
My mantra in life is I always get what
do you
I
listen?
want.
Okay. What about this, though? Brandon, who grew up with a single mother who made a living off sex work, had a tumultuous childhood. Sex work played a pivotal role growing up, and I often sat in the next room or made to wait outside in the car while it happened, recalls Brandon, who asked his full name not be used as it was the first time he shared his story publicly. She called seeing a client mama time. It was something I came to understand. We were more like best friends than mother and son. Things weren't perfect, but I never once doubted that she loved me. That's kind of fun.
Wait,
it's like,
that's going to be the name of the show when I have the baby.
What?
Mama Time.
Mama Time.
That's amazing.
That's the spin-off show that you're going to do.
Our show. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do 2 episodes a week. Recine time and then Mama Time.
Okay.
I think this is a little like, okay, that's a bad situation.
Right. Because it says, while
That's not
Brandon
going to happen to me.
While Brandon felt safe most of the time, he recalls an incident in which one of his mother's clients became aggressive and they ended up having to lock themselves in the bathroom of the hotel they were staying at until he'd calmed down and left. Her sex work would also eventually become bound up with addiction. We didn't have a lot of money and she spent a lot of it on drugs, recalls Brandon.
Okay.
So that's something you got to think about. Imagine you're driving your kid to some ghetto where you're going to go see a client.
Okay, well, that's not where I go and see my clients.
Okay, but imagine you have to take your kid to like a Motel 6, I won't. And then you end up with the cast of Breaking Bad.
I feel like you think I'm like a different kind of hooker.
Okay.
Cast of Breaking Bad.
Yeah. And some meth heads trying to kill you, while your kid's playing his Nintendo Switch in the car. I'm just saying because I care about you.
Thank you. But we're good. We're good. This is going to be like a normal person having a baby. This is just like my job.
All right.
I don't bring my kid to work. You don't bring your kid here.
No, I guess I could if I had to, though. If I was really hard up, he could hang out with Johnny and play on his iPad or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you kind of talk about inappropriate stuff here.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
I guess what's the difference?
What's the difference? That's a good song. I just came up with it. What's the difference?
But okay, it says, I think the way she approached sex work meant she wasn't meeting quality clients because she wasn't able to take care of herself.
These are also negative.
Yeah.
Go back to that guy who like loved that they were rich. I like that story.
Well, that's interesting. And I like that she said my mother was bubbly, she seemed happy and bubbly all the time.
Yeah, that's me.
Because she has no money worries.
And that's me.
And it's probably healthy to, it's probably healthy for girls to, to get some vitamin D, even if the guy's paying for it. Right? Do you feel that way?
What?
It's probably healthy for you to it's probably healthy to get some vitamin D.
What are you talking about?
Vitamin D.
When am I getting vitamin D? Are you making a joke about getting dick?
Yeah. That's yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I wasn't really getting it.
Okay.
Because I was trying to figure out when I was in the sun.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I kind of have to pee.
Okay. Well,
You can cut.
You want to cut?
I'll be so quick.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Any takeaways from that article? It seems like it's fine.
I'm definitely keeping it.
I guess it's like you're definitely keeping yeah. No, I think you should keep the baby.
Okay, those articles.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm sorry that I just had that weird reaction. I didn't mean to react that way.
Okay.
I would never be like, oh, you can't work here if you're pregnant. I mean,
That was your gut.
That's
that was
crazy.
your gut reaction.
Yeah, it was. And sometimes your gut is wrong. It was just very jarring to me because I was really kind of like hurt by it.
What?
I was pissed.
Okay. That's really, really
I was
weird.
pissed. What's that?
That's really weird.
I was pissed because I'm like, I don't know, it's different when a coworker
for you, I think.
Yeah, when a coworker gets pregnant, it's very jarring, especially when it's someone that you have like a special kind of friendship with. It just made me feel a little weird, but I think I'm okay. And it's none of my probably none of my business. It's probably none of my business.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So I'm sorry that I did that, and we'll cut that out of the show.
The whole part.
And I think I said hurt by accident. I meant to say I was pissed, but I shouldn't even be pissed.
You shouldn't be anything.
Okay, shouldn't be anything. Sure. Okay, great. All right. Well, I want to talk about China a little bit.
There's this Real Housewife who it's like her name's Dorit, and in her first season, her tagline is "I can do any accent. I've traveled the world."
Okay. And
So imagine if she went to China.
Does she do them?
No, she just she has different accents. Then you learn she's from the Bronx or something.
What would it sound like if
I'm not doing it, but imagine if she went to that. That's what it made me. When you said China, I thought of Dorit.
Mm-hmm. Do you know
white woman in Beverly Hills?
Do you know anything about China?
Really?
What's your perception of China?
I believe.
What do you think life is like?
They are smarter than us, and they're more efficient, and I think they don't like their ruler.
I don't know. I heard you're not allowed to criticize him.
When I think of China, I really think of that Office episode where Michael Scott is everything's made in China, and he freaks out.
Why?
Because he's this is so messed up. Everything's from China. We've got to start making our own stuff.
Right.
And then by the end, he's kind of on board with China.
Sure.
So that's what I know about China.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think about my grandmother who loves America so much, but she was a factory worker who was able to buy a house. She had an in-ground pool in her house, know, and it's she's the dumbest person that you'll ever talk to. But it's
how are these things connected?
Because there's no future for stupid people anymore. Unless you're doing an MLM or something. Unless you're doing
MLM?
unless you're multi-level marketing.
Oh.
unless you're like selling courses or whatever.
So you're saying, you're saying like back then you could be dumb and still like have a nice
Back then
house.
you could be dumb and still have a nice house and a nice life.
You don't think people are still dumb with nice lives like influencers?
I guess like low skill, right? But that's our economy these days. The United States economy now is like it's podcasts and it's influencers and it's like guys who sell courses. Those are the only people who like seem to have a good life in America. And I saw this YouTube video that I thought was really interesting. It's from a YouTuber, or I saw it on TikTok, but it's from YouTuber Baby Supreme. And it says, China dominates the global economy because it embraces what America fears most, real labor. While the West chases branding and financial bubbles, China built an actual empire on actual production. And now their rise exposes a fatal flaw in white capitalism's disdain for work.
I'm with them.
Yeah.
Because don't you feel like I'm out here doing real work?
Yeah.
I'm like working. I feel like I do more physical labor than you do. And
over the course of your life, I doubt it, but maybe like nowadays, why? What's the physical labor that you do? Oh, like
my sex work. And that's that.
Right. And I guess you have to worry about like, getting crushed to death by some. That's not
what I'm afraid to.
But I imagine
I'm with China on this one, I think.
But I imagine most of your clients are probably pretty overweight.
No.
Okay.
Everyone's like slimmer than you.
Oh, okay. It also says white European aristocrats and plantation owners position themselves as gentlemen, a tradition that frames manual labor as racially inferior. White industrialists like Carnegie and Rockefeller glorified themselves as self-made, while their fortunes rested on child labor, immigrant sweatshops, and violent union suppression. And China weaponizes America's labor aversion. So like, yeah, we don't celebrate workers. We celebrate like some weirdo. We celebrate like we've built up all these false
like the people
idols.
who make the most in this country do the least.
Yeah.
And like have the least training or do the least physical labor. And then there's people who are doing like back-breaking oopsie work, and they get paid nothing.
Yeah.
Do you think that's messed up?
Yeah. I feel like that's me too. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to,
What do you mean?
I feel like I'm doing a little scam here.
Oh, you're trying to be like people we don't like.
Podcasting is like kind of a scam. It's very American.
I miss like the worker days.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were like good men.
Sure.
And
I know.
And women.
But it says China controls 80% of solar panels, 70% of lithium refining, 50% of shipbuilding. The U.S. economy relies on inflating stock value, branding hollow luxuries, and predatory gig work. China's GDP has grown 40 times since 1990. I guess the good thing about
Wait, is
the
it
US,
bad? Should I not be with China on this?
What's
or
that?
That's fine.
No, I'm with China on this too. It's very like, and they're this imposing threat to the
Sometimes I worry when you teach me.
They tell us what to do with our movies. Go ahead.
Because I'm only as like whatever the last thing I watched or read is, like I'm with that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If it's like sometimes I worry that you're teaching me stuff and I'm like, this is the first time hearing of it, so I'm in.
Yeah.
And then like later down the week I'll read like an opposing and I'm like, oh, maybe I should be there.
Well, you should always, I know you should always challenge the things that I say,
Okay. Well, I'm just learning about it.
Yeah.
So doesn't this make you want to stop podcasting and get back into work?
A little bit, yeah.
You should like learn how to build a house.
I should, yeah. Yeah.
That would be impressive.
It says in America, jobs are replaced with hustle culture and their infrastructure crumbles while China builds high-speed railways, smart cities, and AI-driven factories. They're also building these like flying taxis that they're like robot flying taxis.
Zoom, zoom.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's necessary. Don't you feel like that's a little too much?
I don't think I would take one, but it's probably safer than a taxi driven by a Chinese person.
I don't feel that way.
Okay.
I would love to have a Chinese driver.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
To drive me and my son around.
And your retarded son.
I guess the nice thing though is like if you live in America and you're trans with no arms and no legs, you don't get thrown off a cliff.
Yeah.
You know?
You think you would in other countries, in China?
I feel like in
Hey,
China
we
it's
should
probably
ask China about autism.
I feel like in China it's probably 50-50. Yeah, does China have autism?
I think like 100%.
100%.
Like 100% of the population.
autism.
I think that's why the increase in autism is good for us because it helps us compete with China.
Right. We're evolving to compete with China.
We're into math, trains.
Should we do Hooker's Corner a little bit?
Oh, okay.
Congrats on the baby.
Hooker's
like
pregnant.
I said, congrats on the baby.
So send me any pregnancy
we hope
vlogs. I love watching vlogs.
And are you gonna keep doing sex work while you're pregnant?
Yes,
or are you
that's
gonna
like the whole thing.
Really?
Yes. While I'm pregnant, of course.
You're gonna
There's such a market for that.
Yeah. And you're gonna go see clients and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Maybe not like all the way through, but like for most of it. When it's like a cute bump and my boobs are bigger, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
There's a market for everything.
Sure. All right. Hooker's Corner. What do you got for me?
Hooker's house.
Hooker's house.
Hooker's house is
Hooker's
like
house.
what I prefer.
Yeah.
So what, you want me to tell you like what's going on for me in my life? Or what
what do you want to talk about? Yeah. What's happening?
Do you care about the girls who went to space? Katy Perry.
A little bit.
They went to space and Gail King came off the ship and she was like really looking not well and everyone was like talking about it.
Yeah.
And then she did this really insane interview.
And she said, why don't you go to space?
Yeah, she was like saying, she was like, this like $1 billion trip. She was not happy with the criticism and she was like, why don't you go?
Why don't you go to space?
Which is like so funny.
It is funny.
I thought that was really funny. And I think Gail King is kind of like, she's like beloved. So I think this was her first time getting like
Is she?
bad feedback. Yeah. Like she doesn't, she's like a daytime talk show host. They don't get, they do puff pieces and they don't get bad press. You know what I mean? So I thought that was funny.
And they say her and Oprah are lovers.
They're just best friends. There's something very special about female friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do think that's funny. That's how everybody argues nowadays.
What?
Because Douglas Murray debated Dave Smith about like Gaza on Joe Rogan.
Okay.
And he was like, why don't I can't believe you've never been there. It's like, I can't believe you've never been to the Middle East. And but so that was ridiculous. But then now hearing Gail King be like, why don't you go to space if you want,
like really
go to
funny.
space or shut the fuck up.
I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
And I kind of love when like women just like say whatever they want and then just like keep going with their day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like men do it all the time. They say stuff that's like so ridiculous and makes no sense and is like irrational and like unrealistic. And then they just go about their day.
Yeah.
And women always get like so much criticism. So it's like, yeah, Gail.
Yeah.
Say, why don't you go on this billionaire space trip and then go on with your day? I liked when she did that.
Isn't it like a little silly though? Like we're supposed to, I don't know, like we're supposed to clap for these people. There's all these problems and we're supposed to be like,
Well, one,
so cool.
I feel like it's like the opposite of what feminism needs right now, right?
Yeah.
Like women.
Because I saw they interviewed like Kris Jenner and
love her.
Kourtney Kardashian.
She's a baddie. She's a gun.
But they had them speak about going to space.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What I saw was they interviewed all the girls about going to space. And I hate when women do stuff that like makes them hard to defend, which is why I'm like really clinging to this Gail interview. It's like an all female group going to space. And did you see their first interview about what they're going to do?
No.
They're like, I'm going to be the first girl to wear fake lashes in space.
Okay.
And it's like 10 steps forward, 10 steps backwards. Like all female flight to space. What are you girls going to do? Like put on makeup?
Yeah.
But then they went to space and they didn't talk about makeup at all. And Katy Perry seemed to have no makeup on.
Okay.
So maybe they were kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like girl joke.
Okay. So that's good. I had an old joke about this, but they didn't even, back in the day, they didn't even let women join the space program. So that's
That's your joke?
Yeah, that's the joke. Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't let women join the space
No,
program?
the joke is about how like they would send young girls like letters and be like, sorry, but we don't take girls to the space program. So the joke is like, I love that there was a guy at NASA that had to write those letters and that was his job.
Oh, I feel like it needs some reworking.
That's a funny premise. There's a guy that works at NASA and he's writing letters to little girls
Okay.
and he's telling them that they can't be astronauts.
Maybe I'd need to like see it.
Maybe you need to see it.
Yeah.
And he goes, actually, your menstruation probably attracts space bears, so we don't want to.
He said that in the letter?
That's what he would say in the letter.
Oh, this is your joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should go to space.
Yeah.
You should send me to space.
Okay.
That would be such a good episode.
Yeah.
Hooker goes to Mars.
Yeah.
But that's all that's going on with
What
me.
else?
I looked at a lot of memes about that.
Okay.
I've been working, and
It's funny that Jeff Bezos is like, he's jacked and he's also got like a deep voice. Because
Like
he wasn't always like that. But now he's like, good job going to space, girls.
did you see his wife went?
Huh?
His wife went.
Yeah, she's got a lot of shit in her face, huh?
I guess.
It's funny if like you're like one of the richest people in the world, and I would have, if I were him, I would have a better looking wife.
Yeah, he couldn't find a natural beauty.
Isn't that funny? Yeah. He couldn't find. Yeah, she's got so much shit in her face.
But maybe maybe it's about her personality.
You don't have any shit in your face, do you?
But you know, I'd like a little.
Really?
Yeah, I would like.
I just feel like you get addicted to it, and then you end up looking like, you know.
Well, no, all these girls are doing it backwards. You need to be getting Botox when you're my age, because Botox freezes your face. So you need to get that stuff when you're young.
Yeah.
So you freeze your young face.
Yeah.
Women will like get Botox when they're 60. It's like, now we're freezing 60.
Now we're freezing 60.
We're freezing 60 and then we're turning 70 around it. It's not looking so good.
Yeah.
If you don't get it young, you just need to get a facelift, and you need to get the fat in your cheek removed, and you need to get an eyelid lift and a lip flip. And
I know, but then it's
Never
like you
start.
Then right,
even get
exactly,
one thing.
exactly. Yeah, because then you start doing it, and it's.
I'm not
and
gonna
you
lie.
can't stop.
I'm a little against it.
I don't like. It's weird to me when you see a girl who's like 25 years old and she's got shit in her face.
Bobby Althoff.
Yeah.
She looks like one of the masks from The Purge.
Yeah.
Over like 6 months.
Yeah.
Do you think I had stuff in my face?
I also I like older women. No, I don't think you have any, and I think that's I think it's good, but I don't know. Who am I to?
I don't know. I look a little rough today.
Yeah. When do you stop?
Yeah.
When do you like end up looking like the Catwoman?
Like Zoe Kravitz?
No, you know the Catwoman who's got like her face looks like a balloon.
Oh, yeah. She's just got the really big boobs too, right?
I think so.
Yeah. What's her name?
I don't know. But I want to try that. You know, yeah, this lady right here.
Yeah. What's her name?
Jocelyn Wildstein.
Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to be
Great hair.
that could be you if you're not careful. You know what?
I'd say something.
I want to
She's not that scary looking.
She looks like a girl I went to high school with, actually.
You wouldn't have sex with her?
I want to get addicted to BBLs and Turkish hair transplants.
You want a BBL?
So maybe you see me and I'll just have like hair. I'll end up having hair like to my eyebrows. Yeah, I do kind of want a BBL. I have a flat head.
BBLs are really, really dangerous. It's like the most dangerous. I would never get
Really?
a BBL. I'd get a boob job.
I feel like it might be worth it for me though. It might be a risk
Why?
I'm willing to take.
I kind of feel like you're
Wait,
queer.
why are they? What's that?
I kind of feel like you're queer.
Why?
You just like keep saying stuff in this episode today. That's
Like what? I want a
I don't
BBL.
know.
I want a big
You were
juicy
saying that you
ass.
should take prep to be careful, and like
I should
now
take
you're
prep.
saying you want a big butt, like, and you want a full head of hair. That's like
Yeah, I want
a man thing.
I want a full head of hair. I guess I am. Yeah, I guess I am a little vain.
What
But
does
yeah, I
your
want a
wife
big.
think about your
I
butt?
want to
Does
take
she
prep.
comment on your butt?
What's that?
Does your wife like comment on your butt? Is this like a
No, but
like,
if I see it, it makes me feel like
if you see
gross.
it,
If I
you
see it,
run into it.
if I see it in a mirror on camera or something.
You try not to look at it.
Yeah.
But you're a guy. No one cares about your butt.
No,
You're a straight guy.
I don't know.
Supposedly.
It looks a little weird to me.
A BBL, you would look really stupid having like a dump truck.
Really?
That'd be insane.
Okay.
You wouldn't even fit in this chair.
Okay.
Would it be funny?
How do you die from a BBL though? That's kind of.
They're like, it's like a really dangerous operation.
Why?
I don't know. It's like the most, like it's the biggest risk of blood loss. It's like your whole butt. They're like putting stuff in your ass and they have to cut it all open. You should get a boob lift.
Okay.
That's what I'll probably do when I'm older.
Okay.
This is going to be your ass.
See, look at this. Look at this before and after.
Which one looks the most like yours before?
All of them. All of those disgusting before pictures look like my ass.
Do you have a really long crack like that?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
I hate when guys have long cracks.
Yeah. It's not queer to care about to care about your body and want to have a big juicy ass.
Okay. Feels like it is.
So I'm not queer.
Okay.
That'll be the title.
Well, maybe you could be queer coded.
Yeah, maybe.
What's that one that's hidden from us? Oh, there we go. That's gonna be.
You can put this on
that's not
Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like you'd regret it. Look at how scared she is of male BBL. Did you see that reaction?
No.
Up. There she is, male BBL.
Oh man. Okay.
Just like you have, like you're about to have 2 kids. Don't spend money on a BBL.
Okay.
A hair transplant would be stupid too. You have enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's the show. Ooh. What do? They take a piece of your scalp, right? They cut your scalp off.
Deeply upsetting.
I don't know.
They back your scalp off and they put it on the front. They transplant the skin. But sometimes guys get the hair transplant and it doesn't look good.
Yeah. I don't know. How old are you?
37.
You're not gonna have hair forever. What's the big deal?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, that might be the show.
Some guys go bald. Do you have a weird head shape?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm just saying, if you have a weird head shape, then I'd get being concerned about going bald.
Yeah.
I have a flat spot.
Yeah. All right. Well, that might be the show.
Congratulations, Hooker.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And there's still probably plenty of time to figure out exactly what you want to do with
I know exactly what I want to do.
with this baby. And there's plenty of time to think about who's going to be a good father and and think about how your fans will react to the news. All stuff. Everybody stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to see what happens.
We know it's.
I know I'm excited. Anyway, you want to plug anything?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, patreon.com/Recine time and MikeRacineComedy.com for dates. And we'll see you guys on the Patreon or next week. Bye-bye.